we've talked about the absolute chaos in the video game industry and how a lot of people have lost their jobs. Microsoft in particular laid off 1,800 people. I mean, it was a lot of folks just last week. And they're going to double 3,200. I think by the time it's all said and done.
I believe she said that it's going to take like an entire year for him to lay off like 3,200 people.
Yes. Well, let's go to Maryland as there's a Save Our Devs national protest from ZeniMax here. Let's get this local news story.
Tonight out of Montgomery County, a new round of Microsoft layoffs is sparking outrage. Earlier this month, the software giant laid off thousands of people from its...
He's Asian, isn't it?
I forgot I said that out loud. Yeah.
Actually, I think everybody, when looking at news reporters, should identify if they would or not in the first 10 seconds. I think that's the golden rule now on the show. Right?
Yeah. Across the country, they're responsible for some of the most popular video games, including the Fallout series, Doom, and Elder Scrolls. Our Matt Gregory found out that the national layoffs are having a huge...
What?
They came out to protest in Montgomery County.
So on their lunch break, dozens of currently still employed video game developers joined the hundreds of recently laid off video game developers to protest the ongoing mass
house. Here we come.
that have affected folks across the country, but hundreds right here in Maryland. Instead of eating at lunchtime, workers marched from their offices to join their fellow former Microsoft video game coworkers.
It was a combination of shock.
I mean, there was a lot of talk of layoffs coming.
There is a cycle of layoffs. It's like anticipated.
Here's your video game industry right here. This is it. This is it right here.
That it could be you could be next.
Last week, Jay Woodward and Autumn Mitchell got laid off from the Microsoft video game studio, ZeniMax in Rockville, the studio that produces some of Microsoft's most popular video games.
Well, Doom, Fallout, Skyrim. We've also got Elder Scrolls Online.
A week ago, Microsoft had announced plans for a total of around 4,800 layoffs this year, with more than 350 video game developers let go last week in Maryland, and around 166 of those in Rockville, according to a filing with the state labor department.
These are absolutely good paying jobs that you could raise a family on.
Lisa Fazzini of Communication Workers of America helped to organize this lunchtime rally, bringing the still employed developers out to protest in song.
Oh my God.
There's always a sing-along with a guitar. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
He's hoping to get laid afterwards.
Kindergartens.
Unbelievable.
Sing Wonderwall like everyone else. Like, what are you doing, sir?
They're singing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Like, I'm dead. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So you could raise a family on.
Yeah, listen to this.
Helped to organize this lunchtime rally, bringing the still employed developers out to protest in song and signs the layoffs of those recently let go, like Autumn.
The impact itself is so huge on like your routine and the realization that you're not going to see these people anymore, at least not in the same context.
And Jay,
I understand.
Boo! Who?
What's the goal? I missed it. What's the goal of this protest? Give me my job back, otherwise we won't stop playing the guitar. Like, what is the goal?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, thank you, Phil. You know.
So the thing is that like if I was her boss, I'll make a list of who went to those protests.
Yes.
And I'll fire all of them.
Right.
Okay. Can we just stop? Listen to what she says. Listen to why she wants her job back.
Oh, like Autumn.
The impact itself is so huge on like your routine and the realization that you're not going to see these people anymore, at least not in the same context.
Your routine and friends.
Yeah, like, because it disrupts her life. That's why, like, I'm sorry that you're no longer, yes, that's the idea of getting fired. You're no longer allowed to go to that place anymore. That's not, that's just how it works.
I don't want to change the time of my alarm clock. Like, what the fuck, guys?
So tone deaf. It's amazing.
And Jay.
I understand the principle of making the most money possible, but we are the people that make them the money, and we want to just do it.
We reached out to Microsoft and ZeniMax Games for a comment, but as of this report, no one has responded.
At the moment, I'm definitely still keeping options open.
Workers like Jay still holding out hope Microsoft will reverse course.
I would be very happy to return to my job. That's what people are here to fight for, is trying to get everybody who was laid off the opportunity to return.
So the union leaders tell me this is one of just a number of protests taking place across the country, protesting those widespread Microsoft video game layoffs. We're also told there will be another protest coming up in August here in Maryland. In Rockville, I'm Matt Gregory.
Okay, so to be clear, there's going to be another one in minimum 2 weeks, at minimum 2 weeks. So what are you going to do in the meantime? Are these people just going to continue working? And how much do you really stand with your coworkers if you're just going to I'm just going to keep on working, while you guys just go off to your side? I'm with you, Phil. I'm keeping track of everybody who's there, and they're the first one on the chopping block next layoff.
Exactly. Good. The thing is, what Asha Sharma is doing is a good thing for the video game industry. Yes, it's going to be a lot of growing pains, but she did say that this is a mandatory reset that they need to do. The fact that the other companies that are 3x to 10x the amount of profits rather than what Xbox is doing, and they've been losing so much money this past, I don't know how many years, how many times they bought other companies during COVID, and all the games that they came out with from what's it called again? South of Midnight and Hellblade 2, whatever those other games, Kiln, the teapot making game that had no more than a couple hundred people playing your game at once. How much do those games cost, right? Ultimately, it's all about how much money are you helping with the company. And I guarantee these layoffs has been set in stone for a while, for maybe half a year prior to everything happening. Yes, it's going to take a year, but if you're good at what you do, you'll find a job elsewhere. It's okay.
But they're not. They're not. Phil, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
These are mediocre people who got extremely high-paying jobs for doing nothing, and they know that. That's why they're panicking.
So I think there are people who are good at their job. For instance, let's say if you're now, here's the thing, it's typically executive management or middle management, right? There's there's a game that our studio was working on for 8 years that basically completely just shit at the bed. And it was basically we were working with Lightstorm for a long time. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to make this game anymore. So that's a lot of money that people lost. And they had amazing artists over there. It's just that the executives had no idea what the fuck they're doing. And they never released the game, right? Not even a beta was released to any of the content creators that we had on the studio. So when they rolled these people onto our project, basically a lot of redundancies were, they let go of the redundancies. And the people that came on were really, really fucking good. But the thing is, we already have our artists. We already have our producers. We're not going to have, we're not going to pay another art director $175,000 to $200,000 for you to stay on. So yeah, it is, especially in tech, it's very fucking expensive to pay. For instance, an average artist here, if you're working at a pretty well-known game studio, a mid-level artist gets paid a minimum of $110,000. Maybe if you're starting as a junior, you get 80, right? And that's here in California. So especially during COVID, people started leaving to other states and stuff like that. They could still get the same amount of pay. So and a lot of DEI bullshit did come up. So a lot of bullshit jobs, Tiny, you are correct, that were made that they weren't doing jack shit. So getting rid of them, as an investor, as a fucking board member or whatever it is, if I see negatives, I'm yeah, we're just going to let go of everyone. Fuck them. And, and if you are legit good at your job, you'll find another job. It's the gaming industry is really fucking small, right? I know people that were a part of the whole Riot lawsuit. Same thing with was a Blizzard lawsuit. And they're all cross-pollination. It's oh, I worked here. So if the reason why those people are hey, I'm standing in solidarity with my brethrens in the gaming industry is because what happens if that person that was let go becomes a high paying producer? They're going to remember you, that you helped them. And if you didn't go protest with them, you didn't go protest with me. So I'm a producer now. We're not going to hire you. It's easy to get blacklisted, right? So for me, if you're an executive, I would just make note. And it's okay, whenever these people come back, it's sort of when my teachers were okay, you guys can do a walkout for ICE, anti-ICE protests or whatever bullshit, right? But I'm going to make a pop quiz that day that worth 50% of your grade. That's what my teachers did. So that's what I would do if I was executive. Screw them.
Well, it's during their lunchtime though, Phil. So they can do whatever they want. It's their lunchtime. And well, that is kind of weird. Hold on real quick. Is there does the bell ring at ZeniMax and then everybody goes outside to go play on the playground and have their lunch?
No.
No, you can have your lunch whenever you want, right? You're grown ass adults with a salary paying job, So the idea of, well, we do it during our lunchtime. What a silly statement. I don't know. This comes down to one thing, right? The people who got fired were not bringing enough value to their job. That's it. And I know that sounds really mean. That's the very black and white issue. The lady at Microsoft, she has to make very hard decisions. She's done that. And will there be some people who are casualties that probably shouldn't have lost their job. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, that's just the way it is. But guess what these protests will do? Nothing. It's just screaming at the clouds, hoping and singing glory, glory, hallelujah. Come on, what are we doing here?
Is this a proper union, by the way? Like, if they're doing it under lunch hour, it makes me think that it's not a proper union, or are they just calling themselves a union?
Like there are like small games unions, but it's not like a huge thing like the animation industry where it's like a guild, right? Like everyone has a sign. Like so they've been trying to unionize for like a while now. And like ever since like the mid 2000s, they've been trying to unionize for a long time. It's like, oh, if the animation can do it, why can't we do it? Right. And like, even when the place that I started, like there's these like girls who are like, oh, we don't know, we don't just unionize. It's like so many people here. And just like if that's the case, then a lot of people will lose their jobs. Like, and you're gonna pay a lot more in fees and stuff like that. But as of right now, like there's not actually like a big one, but there's more like, you know, I guess it's like isolated small unions that like Microsoft, I think does have their own, but in terms of like video game industry as a whole, no,
not a whole lot. I mean, look, it sucks. I'm different than most everybody else, you know, on our show. I don't like when people lose their jobs. I think it sucks in a situation like this where you've clearly had a job that was redundant for many, many years. I think you just say awesome, and you turn your head and you say, well, maybe I can go get a job somewhere else. You know, I'm so tired of it. And this is one of those things that we've seen this coming for years. We knew this was coming. They even said that there's been talks of layoffs for a long time, right? People knew who was on the chopping block. We've all been there before. We've seen when redundancy or cuts happen or layoffs happen. People who are on the chopping block know they're on the chopping block. I guarantee. Sorry, lady, you were on the chopping block. I could have told you that just by looking at you. But hit that subscribe button right here and watch another video right here.